The Untold Truth About Surviving in U.S. Prison System. Chapter 1. First day. Learn fast or suffer. The bus stopped slowly. Marcus felt his heart beating fast. Too fast. He tried to stay calm, but he couldn't. This was it. No turning back. The door opened with a loud sound. A guard shouted, "Move!" Marcus stood up quickly. His hands felt cold. His legs felt weak. But he walked, one step at a time. When he stepped outside, he saw it. The prison. Tall fences. Sharp wires. Big walls. Everything looked strong. Everything looked closed. Like nothing could escape. Marcus looked around. Other men were walking too. Some looked tough. Some looked angry. Some looked like they had been here before. But Marcus, he was new, and everyone could see it. Inside the building, the air felt cold. Not just cold. Heavy, like the place itself was watching him. A guard walked in front of them. "Stay quiet. Follow orders," he said. Marcus nodded. He didn't want trouble. Not here. Not now. They entered a large room. Bright lights. Too bright. It made Marcus feel small. Very small. "Name," a guard said. "Marcus Hill," he replied. The guard didn't smile. Didn't react. "Stand there." Marcus stood under the light. They took his picture. Front. Side. Another side. Then they gave him a number. A number, not his name. That hurt him, more than he expected, because it felt like he lost something. Something important. He was no longer just Marcus. Now, he was a number. That was the first truth about prison. You lose your identity. Slowly. Quietly. But it happens. They gave him clothes. Same as everyone else. Plain. Simple. No color. No style. He changed into them. His old clothes were taken away. Put in a bag. Gone. It felt like his old life was gone too. Marcus looked at himself. He didn't look the same. He didn't feel the same. A guard stepped close to him. "Listen carefully," the guard said. Marcus nodded fast. "Don't talk too much. Don't look for trouble. And don't trust anyone." Marcus swallowed. "I understand." But the truth was, he didn't fully understand. Not yet. They walked him down a long hallway. The sound of footsteps echoed. Doors slammed. Keys moved. Everything was loud. Even the silence felt loud. They reached the cell block. Marcus stopped for a second. Cells everywhere. Men everywhere. Some were talking. Some were watching. Some were just sitting. But many of them looked at Marcus. That look, it wasn't friendly. It wasn't kind. It was a look that said, "We see you," and Marcus felt it. Deep inside, a voice came from one of the cells. "New guy." Marcus heard it, but he didn't respond. He remembered the guard's words. "Don't talk too much." A guard pointed to the cell. "That's yours." Marcus walked slowly. Inside there was a bed. Metal. Thin mattress. A toilet. Nothing else. No comfort. No privacy. Just space. He sat down. Slowly. This was it. This was where he would live. For a long time. That thought hit him hard. Very hard. The door closed. A loud metal sound. Marcus flinched. That sound meant something. It meant he was locked in. For real. No leaving. No going back. Marcus lay down on the bed, staring at the ceiling. He tried to think, but his mind was full. Too full. Fear. Questions. Regret. Everything at once. Then he heard voices. Laughter. Shouting. Anger. Somewhere far. Then close. He didn't know what was happening, but he knew one thing. This place was not safe. Not like outside. Not at all. Night came slowly. Lights went dim, but not off. Marcus turned to his side, trying to sleep, but he couldn't. Every sound made him alert. Every movement made him think. Is something going to happen? Am I okay here? Can I survive this? He didn't know. That was the second truth about prison. You're always on edge. Always. Even when nothing is happening. Because something could happen at any time. Hours passed. Slowly. Marcus finally slept. But not deeply. Not peacefully. Morning came fast. A loud voice shouted, "Count time." Marcus jumped up. His body moved fast. Before he even thought. That was new. Already, he was changing. They lined up. No talking. No delay. Everything was strict. Everything was controlled. Later, Marcus went to breakfast. He held a tray, sat down quietly, looked around. Everyone seemed to know what to do, where to sit, how to act, but Marcus didn't. He felt lost, like he didn't belong. A man sat across from him, older, calm. He looked at Marcus. "You're new," he said. Marcus nodded. "Yeah." The man leaned closer. "Listen carefully," he said. Marcus paid attention. "If you want to survive here, you have to learn fast." Marcus didn't speak. "You don't show fear. You don't talk too much. And you watch everything." Marcus nodded slowly. The man looked serious. "Because if you don't, this place will teach you the hard way." Marcus felt a chill. "What do you mean?" he asked. The man looked around, then back at him. "In here, small mistakes can become big problems." Marcus looked down at his tray. He wasn't hungry anymore. The man stood up. "Just be careful," he said before walking away. Marcus sat there, thinking. Those words stayed in his mind. Learn fast or suffer. That was the third truth about prison. No one teaches you kindly. You learn by watching or by making mistakes. And mistakes here can cost you. Marcus finished his food slowly, his hand still shaking a little. He looked around again. But this time, he wasn't just looking. He was studying, watching, learning, because now he understood something important. Surviving in prison is not about being strong. It's about being smart, quiet, careful, and fast to learn. Marcus stood up, walked away slowly, trying not to draw attention, trying to stay invisible, because on his first day, he learned one simple thing. In prison, the less people notice you, the safer you are. But deep inside, he knew something else. This was just the beginning, and surviving here was going to be much harder than he thought. Chapter 2, The Rules That Keep You Alive. Marcus woke up before the guard shouted. That was new. He didn't need anyone to wake him now. His body had already learned. In prison, you adjust fast, or you suffer. He sat up on his bed. The room was quiet, but not peaceful. It never felt peaceful. More like everything was waiting for the day to start. Then the loud voice came. "Count time." Marcus stood up quickly, just like everyone else. No delay, no questions. That was one rule. Always move fast when guards speak. After count, the day began. Same routine, same steps. Breakfast, walk, sit, wait. Marcus followed everything carefully. But today, he paid more attention. He was not just moving anymore. He was learning, watching, because he understood something now. There were rules everywhere, not just from the guards, but from the inmates too. Rules no one writes down. Rules no one explains. But if you break them, you pay for it. That morning, Marcus saw something important. A new inmate came in, just like him before. Nervous, confused, lost. The man sat at the wrong table. He didn't know. How could he? No one told him. A few seconds later, someone stood up, slow, serious. "You're sitting in the wrong place," he said. The new inmate looked confused. "I didn't know," he replied. The room became quiet, very quiet. For a moment, it felt like everything stopped. Marcus watched carefully. The man stared at the new inmate, then finally said, "Now you know." The tension faded, slowly, but the message was clear. That was another rule. Where you sit matters. Everything matters. Later, Marcus went back to his cell, thinking about what he saw. That could have gone bad, very bad. But the new inmate got lucky. Not everyone does. In prison, luck doesn't come often. That afternoon, Marcus made another discovery. He saw two men talking quietly. One handed something to the other. Small, hard to see. Marcus looked closer. Food, just food. But later, he saw the same two men again. Now, the mood was different. "You owe me," the first man said. The second man looked nervous. "I thought it was just food," he replied. The first man shook his head. Nothing is free here. Marcus felt it again. That lesson, that truth, that was another rule. Never take anything for free, because it's never free. There's always a cost. Sometimes small, sometimes big, but always there. Marcus decided something right then. He would not take anything from anyone. No gifts, no favors, nothing. It was safer that way. That evening, the older inmate came back, sat next to Marcus again. "You're watching," he said. Marcus nodded. "Yeah, I'm trying to learn." The man gave a small nod. "That's good." He leaned closer. "Let me tell you the real rules." Marcus listened carefully. "Rule 1, the man said, respect." Marcus nodded. "I understand." The man shook his head slightly. "No, not like outside. In here, respect is everything." Marcus stayed quiet. If someone thinks you don't respect them, it can turn into a problem fast. Marcus felt serious now. "Rule 2, the man continued. Stay out of other people's business." Marcus nodded again. "Don't ask questions. Don't get involved." "Okay," Marcus said softly. "Rule 3, the man said. Control your emotions." Marcus looked at him. "What do you mean?" The man pointed around. "In here, anger spreads fast. Fear spreads fast. You have to stay calm." Marcus took a deep breath. "That's hard," he said. The man smiled a little. "Yeah, but it keeps you alive." Marcus didn't say anything, because he knew it was true. The man stood up. "You're learning," he said. "Keep learning." Marcus watched him walk away. Those words stayed with him. That night, Marcus sat on his bed, thinking. Everything felt different now. More serious. More real. This was not just a place. It was a system, a way of living, with its own rules, its own order. And if you don't follow it, you suffer. Marcus looked around his cell. Same walls, same bed, same sounds. But he was not the same. He was changing, faster now. His mind was sharper. His eyes noticed more. His body reacted faster. He didn't trust easily. He didn't relax. He stayed alert. Always. That was another truth. In prison, you don't relax. Even when you look calm, even when nothing is happening, your mind is always working, always watching, always ready. Days passed. Marcus kept learning. Small things, important things. Don't stare too long. Don't speak too loud. Don't stand too close. Everything had meaning. Everything had risk. One wrong move could change everything. One night, Marcus heard an argument, loud voices, angry tones, then silence, heavy silence. No one moved. No one spoke. Everyone waited. Marcus stayed still, heart beating fast. But he didn't react. He didn't panic. He remembered the rule. Control your emotions. Stay calm. The moment passed, slowly. But Marcus understood something new. Danger in prison doesn't always come with warning. Sometimes it just appears. Fast, unexpected, and you have to be ready. Always. Later, Marcus lay down, staring at the ceiling again. Same as his first night. But now, his thoughts were different. He was not just scared anymore. He was aware, careful, focused. He was learning how to survive. But he also felt something else. Something deeper. He was changing inside. The way he thought. The way he saw people. The way he reacted. Everything was shifting. And he knew something important. These changes were helping him survive. But they were also becoming part of him. And the longer he stayed, the harder it would be to go back. Marcus closed his eyes slowly. The sounds around him continued. But he didn't react like before. He was used to it now. And that was both good and dangerous. Because in prison, the moment you feel comfortable is the moment you forget how serious it really is. Chapter 3. The mindset that keeps you alive. Time moves slowly in prison, but Marcus changed fast. Weeks turned into months, and something inside him was not the same anymore. At first, he was scared of everything, every sound, every face, every movement. Now, he understood things better. Not everything, but enough to survive. That was the difference. He woke up before the guards. He moved without thinking. He followed the routine like it was normal, because now it was normal to him. That was the first big change. Prison becomes your normal. One day, Marcus walked into the yard. The sun was out. Men were talking. Some were playing games. Some were just sitting. Marcus walked calmly. Not fast, not slow, just steady. He knew where to go. He knew where not to go. He knew who to avoid. That was new. Before, he felt lost here. Now, he felt aware. That was the mindset. Awareness. Always watching. Always thinking. Always careful. As he walked, he saw a new inmate. The man looked nervous, looking around too much, moving too fast. Marcus recognized it immediately. That fear, that confusion, that was him before. But now, he wasn't that person anymore. He kept walking. But something stayed in his mind. This place changes people fast. Later that day, Marcus sat on a bench, watching, learning. That's what he always did now. Watching had become a habit, a strong habit, because in prison, information keeps you safe. Not strength, not size, but awareness. Then something happened, a small moment, but important. A man dropped something near Marcus. A small item. Marcus saw it. He could have picked it up. He could have called the man. But he didn't. He stayed still, did nothing. A few seconds later, another inmate picked it up, walked away. The man who dropped it came back, looking angry. Who took it, he asked. No one answered. Marcus stayed quiet. He knew the rule. Don't get involved. Not your problem. Stay out of it. That was another mindset. Stay invisible. Not weak. Not scared. Just not involved. Because getting involved brings problems. Later, Marcus thought about it. Before prison, he would have helped. He would have said something. But now, he stayed quiet. That felt strange. But also, it felt right. That's how he survived. That was the second big change. Your choices change. Even small ones. Days passed. Marcus became more controlled, more careful, more quiet. He didn't react fast anymore. He thought first, then acted. That was important, because reacting fast can bring trouble. Thinking first keeps you safe. One evening, something happened again. A man walked close to Marcus. Too close. Marcus felt it immediately. His body became alert, but he didn't react quickly. He stayed calm. The man kept walking. Nothing happened, but Marcus knew something. If this was before, he might have reacted. He might have made it worse. But now, he controlled himself. That was the mindset. Control. Control your words. Control your actions. Control your emotions. Because in prison, losing control can cost you. Marcus started to understand something deeper. Surviving prison is not just about what you do. It's about how you think, your mindset, your way of seeing things, your way of reacting. That's what keeps you safe. Not strength, not fighting, but control and awareness and patience. That night, Marcus sat on his bed, thinking. Again, he did that a lot now. Thinking had become part of him. He thought about who he was before. The old Marcus, the one outside. He remembered how he used to laugh, talk freely, trust people, relax. That version of him felt far away now, very far, because now he was different, stronger in some ways, but colder in others, more careful, less open, more controlled. That made him think, is this good or bad? He didn't have an answer, because in prison, those changes help you survive, but outside, they might not help. That thought stayed in his mind for a long time. Later, the older inmate sat next to him again. You're doing well, he said. Marcus looked at him. I don't feel the same anymore. The man nodded. You're not supposed to. Marcus stayed quiet. This place changes how you think. The man continued. It has to. That's how you survive. Marcus sighed. But what happens when I leave? The man paused, then said something important. That's the hard part. Marcus looked at him. These habits, they don't just go away. Marcus felt that deeply, because he already knew it was true. He could feel it inside himself. Those changes were not temporary. They were becoming part of him. That night, Marcus lay down, staring at the ceiling again, same as always. But now, his thoughts were clearer, stronger, more real. "I'm surviving," he whispered. "And that's good." He paused. "But I'm also changing." Another pause. "And I don't know if I can go back." That was the truth, the untold truth. Prison doesn't just teach you how to survive inside. It changes how you think forever. And even when you leave one day, that mindset stays with you. Because once your mind learns to survive like that, it doesn't forget. Marcus closed his eyes slowly. The sounds around him continued, but he didn't react. He was used to it now, and deep inside, he understood something important. Surviving prison is not just about staying alive. It's about adapting, changing, becoming someone who can handle it. But the real question is, what happens when you don't need to survive like that anymore? That answer would come later. But for now, Marcus kept learning, kept watching, kept surviving, one day at a time.